Finding customers. Once you have acquired the knowledge that you need by applying what you have learned so far, and have accumulated swipe files that are brimming with information, ideas, and copy that you can use, you're ready to launch your business. To do this, you obviously need to find clients or customers, which is the next step. Fortunately, however, this is a relatively straightforward step, as there are lots of places where you can offer your services, and you can do so relatively cheaply, or at no cost as well. In order to be able to sell your services, the first thing you need to do is establish credibility by proving that you can do what you claim. To do this, what I would do is join the #1 online marketing forum, which is the Warrior Forum. I would then post what is known as the Warrior Special Offer, WSO. This is an offer that is exclusive to other members of the forum and costs around $20 to post. As this is the most popular online marketing site, there are always hundreds of members looking for a quality offer at a bargain price through the WSO section of the site. There were 538 members viewing this particular section of the site at the time of this screenshot, and here is the time it was captured. Offer to create 5 short copy sales pages for the first 5 Warrior members who send you a request by private forum mail in return for a testimonial. A video testimonial would be even better. Also, as part of the offer, you should tell members who take up the offer that while the sales copy that you create for them will not be available to anyone else, you will be using it in your portfolio for promotional purposes. You can also ask them for any results that your copy generates, as a successful track record of sales will certainly help acquire new clients in the future. If all goes well, and it almost invariably does when you use the Warrior Forum, you will have 5 great testimonials and a portfolio that you can use to show prospective clients that you know what you're doing in the future. It also means that the next time you create a WSO, you can charge 50% or 75% of what you have established should be your standard charge to start bringing some money in while still offering a great deal to forum members. Search out the top people in the industry and offer your services to them for free for a limited period of time in return for a testimonial and the opportunity of working with them on a longer-term basis. If they agree to your proposal, you have the chance to impress them with your skills, so that once the limited work-for-free offer expires, they will hopefully continue to employ your services and pay you for them in the future. Once you have a few testimonials under your belt, a portfolio of work that you can use to show that you know what you're doing, including results, and perhaps even a few clients, you can approach online advertising agencies to offer your services as a freelancer. Similarly, you can offer your services to established copywriting businesses as well, as many of them are looking for up-and-coming freelance copywriters who can provide evidence that they know what they're doing. You can even advertise your services directly through sites like Craigslist and US free ads. My own experience of advertising using these sites is that while you won't get many inquiries, and some of the ones you do get will be a waste of time, the clients that you pick up using these 2 resources tend to be folks who stick with you just as long as you keep doing the job properly, so it is worth doing. How to charge your customers. As someone who has just become a copywriter, one mistake that you're quite likely to make is that of underestimating the value of what you can provide to an online marketing business that needs an effective sales page. While it is pretty obvious that in the early days you are not going to be able to quote premium prices to your clients, it is also important to appreciate that as you develop your copywriting skills, your prices must always reflect the value that you bring to your client's business. For instance, to return to the example I used earlier in this report, if you write a sales page that generates $1 million in one day, with several more millions added subsequently, I would suggest that your services are worth more than $25,000. Of course, when you are creating a sales page, You have no way of knowing exactly how much sales revenue it is going to generate for your client, which is why you need to be a little creative when it comes to how you charge for your time and services. In the early days, what I would recommend is that you work for clients on a back-end fee basis. As you are relatively unknown, you do not ask them for money up front, but instead you have an agreement in place where they pay you a sum that is mutually agreed in advance on successful completion of the job. For example, you agree that the fee is $1,000 at the beginning, but they don't pay that until you deliver to their satisfaction. However, you do not work on this basis indefinitely, simply because although this is a reasonably effective foot-in-the-door tactic, it is not one that you can survive on in the long run. Consequently, what you should agree on with your client is that if after this first commission they want to continue working with you, you will do so on a stage payment basis. As an example, you might agree with your client that 33% is paid in advance. Another 33% tranche is to be paid at a pre-agreed point in the sales page creation process, with the final 34% paid on satisfactory delivery of the required copy. Okay, returning once again to the case of our $1,000,000 sales page copywriting friend. If you get to the stage where you are working with big dog marketers who have the ability to create products that generate millions of dollars, agreeing to a flat rate fee up front is really not a great idea. It would be far better to reduce the initial fee and include a percentage for every sale made rather than going for a large lump sum up front with nothing to come subsequently, simply because in this way you are getting paid for doing the job properly. Think of it this way. Even if the sales page is for a digital information product that is going to be sold through ClickBank, with 75% of the commission going to affiliates, every penny the marketer behind the product receives after they have covered the cost of creating it is pure profit. Consequently, asking them for a 5% split of total sales revenue will still leave them with a very handsome profit, and because you have agreed to a lower upfront fee, their initial setup costs have been reduced in any case. Of course, this strategy is only going to work once you have acquired a reputation in the market for generating sales and a track record to prove that you can do so. As, however, a top-name marketer is unlikely to work with you if you have not already reached this level, this should not be a major problem. The final option is one that only really becomes appropriate if or when you become a famous copywriter yourself, someone who has reached the happy position where you can say no to any project that you really don't fancy because you already have enough top-quality clients to provide you with more high-paying work than you can reasonably handle. Now, instead of asking for a percentage cut of sales revenues, you are only willing to work with new clients in return for an equity share in the business for which you are providing the advertising copy. If, for example, someone approaches you with a new project or product which, through research, you can see is something with great potential, you lay down the rules because your position entitles you to do so. If the marketer who brings this idea to you is planning it as a spin-off from their existing business, you should insist that they establish a completely separate legal entity, for example, an LLC, to handle it. You can then agree to create the sales copy for the new product at no cost in return for a 50% stake in the company, so that your reward for creating the sales page, which will only take a couple of hours because of your swipe file collection, remember, is a half share of a business that could make millions of dollars. As you can see from this quick run through the various charging options available to you as a professional copywriter, it is a question of starting small and humble, developing your skills as you go along, while always remembering to charge appropriately as your business and reputation quickly develops. Conclusion. As I hope you can see by now, although becoming someone who can create superbly effective advertising copy at the drop of a hat and get paid extremely well for doing so might have seemed like a crazy pipe dream when you first started reading, there is in reality absolutely no reason why this should be the case. On the contrary, If you apply what you have learned from reading this manual and put in the work that is undoubtedly necessary to develop your copywriting skills, then there really is no limit on how much money you can earn as a copywriter. Moreover, because, as I suggested in the beginning, the number of copywriters who can genuinely do a great job quickly is pretty limited, you are not operating in a market where there are thousands upon thousands of competitors. Instead, you are working in a market where it is consistent quality and your ability to deliver on time that counts above all else. Consequently, once you have put in the time and effort to learn the copywriting craft and have gone through the apprentice period when you develop your skills working with your first clients, it is consistent quality and an unswerving dedication to meet deadlines on every occasion which must be your primary focus. It is these two factors that will initially establish and subsequently build your reputation, and with a blossoming reputation as one of the top up-and-coming copywriters in the business, it is natural that your bank balance will also enjoy a degree of blossoming at the same time. So, now you know that there is great money to be made as a copywriter, and you have all the essential information you need to get started. All that is now needed is action, which is why you are the most important person in this project from this point on.